So what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, you missed our celebration of Mother's Day. Our acknowledgement that Mother's Day comes with lots of different baggage for people, recognizing that we come to worship having lost a child or having lost a parent. We come grieving. We come hoping to conceive. We come despairing because we've not been able to. We come because we've had terrific relationships with our parents. We come because we've had a relationship with only one parent. We come because we've had troubled and difficult relationships with our parents or with our mothers. We come because we don't want to talk about it. We come because we're desperate to talk about our joy or our pain or our struggle. So as we recognized Mother's Day today, we recognized the passage from John's Gospel where Jesus tells us that in my Father's house are many dwelling places. And we took that today to mean, at the very least, that there is room for all of us in God's love, in God's kingdom, in God's ministry. There's room for us all. Whatever we're feeling today, we're not alone. And in our celebration, in our grief, in our reconciliation, in our admiration, in our frustration, God is with us, and the light of Christ actually can shine through us. So that's how we started our service today. And we continued with that passage in John's Gospel, and we heard those often difficult words. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. And so we pondered what that indeed might mean. We wondered about what John was feeling and thinking. How excited he must be about his faith. How excited his community must be that they are declaring as loud as they can, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and that nobody comes to know God except through Jesus. And we recognize that this is a subjective statement. In the same way that on Mother's Day, we declare that our mothers are the finest, the greatest mothers of all time. Even though we have a 1 in 2.25 billion chance of our mothers actually being the greatest in the world, it's with sincerity and love we say it, because in our experience, there is no better mother than ours, if that's indeed the relationship we've been able to have. It's not objective, it's subjective. And John and his people are speaking subjectively. They've known other faiths. They've grown up with another faith. They've known the words and the traditions and the rituals, and it was fine, but somehow it wasn't enough. It didn't click. And then they had the experience of Jesus. Not words, but a dynamic life. The will of God, the nature of God, the essence of God revealed in a human life, and suddenly the universe and empire and privilege and hope and destiny all made sense to them. And so they were ecstatic. Nobody could ever know God except like this. And what does Jesus say? Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus says, believe in God, believe also in me. Believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. And if you can't believe that, then believe because of the works. Jesus says that. And so we recognize that very often doctrine and dogma can be descriptive. They can describe how we are experiencing God and how we intend to live. But they don't usually work prescriptively. They don't very often lead us into faith. They might describe our faith. So, as Jesus puts it, if I am in the Father and the Father is in me, if you can't handle that, in 2017, that might be because of a scientific view of the world that doesn't have room for that, or it might be an experience within a faith community that just makes that impossible, or it just might be a leap that you're not prepared to make. Jesus says that's fine. Look to the works. Jesus calls himself the way. We call him the way. It's not about what we believe, it's how we believe. And we are drawn to people and communities that turn the other cheek and love the neighbor, that seek justice and love kindness. And we're drawn to those who wish to walk humbly on this Mother Earth with God the Creator, with each other. And Jesus says, fine, that's the way too. And as you're on the way, there may come a time that doctrine and dogma can describe what you're experiencing and how you're feeling. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can still be on the way together. The way that is Jesus, the way that is love and justice. So that's what we engaged with today at Jubilee. And we had some great music, and then we had an afternoon with the very Reverend Stan McKay and Chief Marcia Brown Martell as they shared with us their presence, their compassion, their witness, and their wisdom of being an Indigenous person in Canada, of having your identity taken away at birth, at being incarcerated within a residential school. We had that this afternoon too at Jubilee, and it was eye-opening and challenging and heart-rendering and absolutely holy. So that's what you missed at Jubilee today. And you missed me in a jacket because, hey, I never wear these. But anyway, hopefully we won't miss you much longer because we would really love to see you soon. Until we do, God bless.